as far as you do experience this kind of phenomenon regularly. That there's some zip zap of consciousness from its body to the sense and acknowledging, understanding that this body is just a vehicle, and eventually this consciousness could experience itself out of this body, and even more surprisingly, consciousness could welcome, perceive data, informations out of this body, which is leading us, of course, to this understanding. And in this way, it's not a matter of understanding, it's a matter of experiencing it as well. That this body is not producing a consciousness in any way. This body made of flesh and blood get to be born, and then because it has a brain, is producing a consciousness. The consciousness adds his, so to speak, his own life. And this consciousness is producing this body. In a matter of fact, this consciousness is producing more than just this body. It's producing time. And what we perceive as real, which is a matter of manifestation, is not much but an 3D interpretation of consciousness, of a flow of informations which are perceived at the rates of 10 millions of informations per second. And those informations are perceived in 2 dimensions. And this universe as a block is not made of space, it's made of time. Consciousness is not in motion. The consciousness is motionless and is constantly perceiving informations throughout time, one after the other, sorry. And depending of the time focusing point of this consciousness, the information would be different, meaning that this consciousness is like a pawn that we could put at the center of a sheet of paper. And this pawn is motionless, the sheet of paper is moving, and this sheet of paper is time. In this way, we can understand that everything which could happen is already disposed. This this paper compound all which could happen, and in this sheet of paper, we can understand and observe the fact that the future already happened, the past is already here. The future already happened, but yet the future is multiple. This pawn could be through different, could take different trajectory as a line of fate. And this trajectory through time could be changed throughout the uh, could be changed throughout the let's say the wheel of the consciousness. The influence that this consciousness is exerting throughout space-time by making choices create decoherence throughout the space-time web. And in this way, future could be tweaked, let's say, and changed. The trajectory could be changed. In the same way, the future could be empowered. The future could be influenced. The future could be held. You can heal your own future. You can understand in this way that as soon as the future could be modified, we should understand that the past could be modified as well. And if we reverse this mechanism by healing the past, we will necessarily change our future. But as a consciousness, we're evolving in a motionless way, caught in the eternal present moment of nothingness. And this consciousness as a projector gonna project this movie, which is made of informations, and it's written into time. And as an hologram, this movie will give us a sensation that it's perceived in volume, in 3 dimension, while, in a matter of fact, uh, there's beam of light are dancing towards a projector, and this projector is what is beyond time and space. This texture, superior realm, which is beyond the consciousness by itself. Then we can understand that space, which is made of consciousness, and which is perceived by consciousness on a delusional way, is considered upon physicists as a texture which is curved as far as some matter would be positioned through consciousness. It will curve the web of time space and create this phenomenon which is called attraction. Space is hold. You most likely have heard about the black holes. And interestingly enough, and this one is quite spicy, space is pixelized. Exactly on the same way that the screen of your computer could be. Meaning that when you're diving, delving into the infinitely small, smaller than an atom, smaller than an electron, at some point, you would realize that in this realm of the infinitely small, space couldn't be measured. Space wouldn't exist anymore in this way, that it's not possible to measure space at some point when it's so small. As far as space-time are upon the properties of mechanical physics, two elements which are linked. You quite understand that if space become impossible to measure, space doesn't exist anymore, and therefore time doesn't exist anymore. which leads us to a realm of nothingness, what we may consider as the screen towards various these movies projected. And we understand that everything that could be perceived throughout manifestation, any atoms, molecules, electrons, are lying throughout this realm, this texture, which is made of nothingness. And yet, nothingness is still a concept which is related to manifestation. And that this realm could be considered in such a way would still be an interpretation of our intellect, our subtle body. We understand things as present or absent. As far as it's absent, we could consider that nothing happens. But the peculiarity of the mental, the mind, is to consider always one thought at a time. We cannot have two thoughts at the same time. We can have two sensations at the same times. It's always one after the other. We are perceiving 10 million information per second, all right, but extremely fast, and yet only one after the other. So this real made of nothingness, by definition, couldn't be understood, comprehended by this mind. As far as this realm is made of, is simultaneously full and empty at the same time. That we could call a paradox. But what we call the singularity would be the open gate leading to this realm, which is paradoxical.